Hi everyone, welcome back. This is the second of the videos in using the cosine rule for non-right angle triangles. You can still use it for right angle triangles, but it's a longer way, and usually the students who use it for the right angle triangles have more problems and make more mistakes. Let's have a look how it works. So look at the formula itself again, just like if you've watched the previous video. I've got three sides and an angle. So the small letters, the lowercase letters are the sides, and then that's the angle. So we only have one angle on here, so that has to be that angle there. So if I'm going to be careful with it, that's capital C, and then I can go to the others and say, well, that's capital A and that's capital B. Now across from capital A is little a, across from capital B is little b, and across from capital C is little c. Have a look at the shape for a moment again. We've got a non-right angle triangle. We have information on all three sides. So if you go back to the formula, three sides involved. So when you're using the cosine rule, it's usually about questions where or it's always about questions where you have the information, or you're looking for the information on one of the three sides, but you have the information on the other sides. Let's put the numbers into the formula and see what happens. So little c is 5, so I could write 25. Little a is 7, so I could write 49. Little b is 6, I could write 36. Then I've got 2 times 7 times 6, and I'm getting the cos of c. Now, if you're using a ClassPad calculator, which is the Casio ClassPad here in WA, and also there's other ones you could do the same with as well, you can just go solve, and it'll come up with a bracket automatically. And the interesting thing is, if you call that an x, the calculator defaults to working out what the x is. But you don't have to put x, you can actually put in theta if you want to. You can go to the choices on the keyboard and you can put in theta. But if you put in theta, you're going to say to the calculator, I'm using theta. And the way you say I'm using theta, some people say theta, depending where you are, is to say comma theta, and it will go looking for the angle for you. But a lot of people watching don't have that. And even in Western Australia, a lot of times people have to do this without the ClassPad. And sometimes we have to do with what's called exact values, and with exact values you can't use your calculator to do the question. So let's have a look at what really is happening here on this question. I have got a 25, and this is going to be 79 plus 6, which is 85. And now I've got 6 7s are 42, and when I double 42 I get 84, and then I have the cos of theta. Seen many students go 85 take 84 is 1 and get the question completely wrong. Order of operations. That 84, that minus 84, is connected to the cos theta with a multiplication. So I cannot do subtraction before I do multiplication. So now we're actually solving equations, and there are plenty of videos that I've made if you want to go look at them, but we're going to go through the basic process. But I do have two playlists on solving equations, on simple ones and then on ones where it's a little bit more complicated. If I want to move that minus 84 cos theta to the other side of the equation, it does become an 84 cos theta. Normal method I teach is if you want to get rid of something, you add the opposite. In this case, it's the opposites to both sides, and this was controlled by a minus, so I could move the whole of it by going add 84 cos theta. If I do it to one side, then I've got to do it to the other side, so I've got plus 84 cos theta. Then I've got my 84 cos theta plus the 25 equals 85. Now I want to get this by itself, so how do I get rid of the plus 25? If I take 25 from this side, I take 25 from that side, so the opposites both sides, the opposite of plus 25 is that. We've got 84 cos theta. Now I can look at that and I go, I've got 60. Now what's controlling the 84? Between the 84 and the cos there's a multiplication. What's the opposite to multiplying by 84? It is dividing by 84. And if I divide one side by 84, I've got to divide the other side by 84. And I'm left then with cos theta equals 60 on 84. Now again, if you had a ClassPad calculator you could just go solve, but you could have done that back up there. Most calculators built with a what's called a second function. They'll have second f, or they'll have inverse. And they have an inverse there. Now, what they're going to do is so that you can calculate the angle on the cos button, instead of pressing the cos button to get the fraction or the decimal or the ratio, this is now in reverse. So how do we reverse it? We press the second function, then the cos button, and that says to the calculator that you're finding the angle using these numbers. So if you just go inverse cos, and then you type in the 60 divided by 84, there is a problem. The calculator doesn't understand that that's a fraction. So you've got to tell it using a bracket that you're going to do the division with with brackets around it. That's one method. Another method is to use the ABC button on some calculators, which is the fraction button. If you use that button, the calculator knows that you're then typing in a fraction, and you type in the 60 and the 84, and it writes it as a fraction, not normally vertically, but writes it as a fraction. And then when you press equals, or you press exit, the calculator will tell you the answer to the question, which is that angle there. And I've calculated it previously, it's 44, so the angle is 44.415 degrees. Now watch out for the trap again. We're looking for the angle in degrees. Calculators have a setting of degrees, radians and grads. If you've got it set on R or on G, it's going to give you a different answer. These are different systems. Grads are about France, and they have 100 grads in a right angle. R is about radians, which we all use in Year 11 senior maths, Year 12 senior maths. But so we're using degrees, so you're going to make sure your calculator is set on degrees, so make sure you get the same answer as mine. Otherwise, if you look at your calculator screen, you'll see it's set on the wrong one. And it's easy enough to change. Look through the buttons. Some calculators have a D, R or a G button, and you press on that and it changes. On the class pad, all you have to do is press on the button and it changes it into the correct one. Thank you.